Good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome back for another episode. Today is Saturday, a beautiful, hot, scorching Saturday, June 29th, 2024. And let me repeat that. A beautiful, hot, scorching Saturday. But we're here. I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm relaxing in the shade till I pull off and make this video. But I had to pull over in the shade to do that because my window got steam coming off of it. But anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. To all my new subscribers, welcome. You're in the right place. Thank you for being here. And to everyone that's been rocking with me from day one up until now, thank y'all. Y'all are the best. And that's what's making this channel become the best because of y'all. Y'all looking for some real shit, and here we are. So, this topic here. Oh, first. My bad. Going live tonight for those who don't know. 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Hit the bell notification over that little bell thing. Touch that, and then hit all. And it'll notify you whenever I go live or do anything on YouTube. It'll let you know. Supposedly, that's what I heard. That's what somebody had said. But we're going to see. We hit the bell notification and hit all and subscribe and hit the like button and all that stuff. I don't ask y'all to do that much, and I ain't going to ask much. It's up to you, like or you don't. But you're here. Thank you for watching. So anyway, we see marriages nowadays, right? Not lasting. A lot of new modern marriages don't last. We hear about that, talk about it, discuss it. You can't go anywhere on the internet not see what, the divorce rate is high. Marriages don't last like they used to back in the day with grandma and them. Marriages don't last like they used to back in the day with grandma and them and granddad. We're gonna go into why. And we often hear men say, including myself, we want women how grandma and them was. We don't want these modern women. We want women like grandma, right? Like grandma couldn't do no wrong. Grandma, I was under that delusion also, but we going somewhere. The marriages lasted longer back then, right? And we would assume that it was because, no marriage was lasting 30, 40, 50 years till one of them died. You know what I mean? That was normal. It was normal to see marriages, men and women married. That was normal. And it was normal for those marriages to last a long damn time. And it don't happen like that no more, right? You doing good if you last 10 nowadays. Divorced, separated, something. So we were like, as men, would say, these women ain't like grandma and them used to be. That's what we would say. And the women would say, these men ain't like grandpa used to be. They would say. That's why the marriages lasted so long. They would say. Let's look a little deeper into that, right? See, a lot of reasons the marriages are not lasting long nowadays. It's a bunch of different reasons, but one of the reasons is cheating. Cheating, finances, how the woman feels. But we're going to deal with the cheating part right now. Somebody in the marriage get caught cheating. The other spouse say, you know what, I can't take this no more. I'm not dealing with no cheating. I want a divorce. Go file for divorce, marriage over. See, back in the day, we didn't have to deal with that. You know what I mean? All that type of stuff. They lasted. Nowadays, you men want to cheat or you women want to cheat nowadays. Y'all didn't like grandma and them and granddad and them. You know what I'm saying? Now we not so fast, my friend. I'm going to tell y'all something. Some of y'all might know. Some of y'all don't want to know. Grandma cheated too. Y'all know granddad cheated, but grandma cheated too. A lot of y'all ain't gonna agree with this part either. But it's just big ward facts. Nah, you can believe what you want to believe. This is just what I believe. For a marriage to last 30, 40, 50 years, for two people to be with each other that long, it's gonna be some cheating going on. I don't believe it's possible for people to stay together that long and nobody cheats. The difference between now and then, they wouldn't leave each other because of it. That's the only difference. We ain't doing nothing no different now than they were doing back then. The only difference is back then, for whatever reason, if granddad caught grandma cheating, he wouldn't leave her. If grandma caught granddad cheating, she wouldn't leave him. They stayed together through the cheating. See, we on the outside looking in, because we was kids back then, and kids stayed out of grown folk business, so we didn't know what the hell was going on. We didn't know who that uncle was coming over there for mama when dad was at work. What have you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Or your auntie coming over there to see your dad, and when your mama going to visit her sister, what have you. Don't ask me how I know. But we was kids, and we were taught to stay in a kid's place, stay out of grown folk business. So therefore, we thinking our grandparents and parents didn't do nothing like that, not knowing they were getting it popping too. Granddad had a whole family around the corner. We knew about that. But did any of y'all know sometimes grandma had an outside baby too? A lot of y'all born in the 70s, 60s, whatever, back in the day, growing up with siblings that wasn't your daddy's also. Even though your mom and dad were married, mom had her brother or one of your brothers or sisters wasn't your daddy's. Y'all didn't know it. You might have a brother or sister that don't look like now one of y'all, but it was by your mom. Or your, you know what I'm talking about. During my time and older, you may have grew up with 4 or 5 sisters and brothers, and one, especially your youngest brother, the baby boy, don't look like now one of y'all. And mom and dad have been together for 30, 40 years, but your baby brother don't look like now one of y'all. All the rest of y'all look alike. Guess what? Because your baby brother by Willie Earl around the corner. Grandma would run over Willie Earl, and your daddy or your granddaddy knew about it. He went with Willie Earl ass, but he stayed with grandma. Oh, it was going on. Grandma cheated too. They just didn't leave each other. Nowadays, we leave each other for leaving the toilet seat up. Nowadays, marriages end just for a feeling. I ain't happy. I don't feel right. I outgrew you. Whatever. You ain't making enough money, what have you. When back then, when we thought it was just so much love and they were just so down with each other, what have you, they just stayed together, baby. You're not going to be married to nobody 30 and 40 years and they ain't going to have no bullshit going on. Whether it be cheating, it's going to be something. He going to lose his job. He going to go through a bout of alcoholism. He probably going to be a dope fiend for 4 or 5 years of your marriage. She probably going to be a street runner for 4 or 5 years of your marriage. She'll mess around and get saved and start acting right. Then y'all marriage get better, this and that. Them people stay together through all types of shit. Do you feel me? Over a period of 30, 40, 50 years, how them old folk that we know of stayed together. At some point in time in that 50 years, granddad was an alcoholic. Grandma didn't leave him. Y'all ain't staying with no alcoholic nowadays, crackhead, nothing like that. Grandma didn't leave him. My granddad used to drink, was an alcoholic. But I never saw it, but I heard about my grandma talking about how he used to drink a lot, was an alcoholic. But from the time I was with them, because that's who I call her my grandma, but my adopted mother. I always say grandma. When I say grandma, I'm talking about my adopted mother because she was old. I grew up under old people. That's why I got old folk wisdom, as they say. But my mom, but they were old. They were old. People thought it was my grandmother, but she was my adopted mother. So when I say grandma, that's what I'm talking about. I'm really talking about my adopted mother. It was a habit. I don't know why. I just always, for some reason, called her my grand, because everybody else said that was my grandma. But it was my mother. But I was adopted. But anyway, She used to tell me about how my grandfather, my adopted father, used to drink, but I never saw it because they had me since I was 3 months old, up until she died on November 1st, 1995. He died in 1983. I never saw him drink. He quit. My point is, they stayed together through his drinking. And then he eventually quit and went years, I never saw him drink a beer. But she didn't leave him when he was drinking, is my point. We don't do that nowadays. Them folk went through problems. We ain't strong, we don't stick it out no more. They stayed together, they stuck it out. It was not peaches and cream for them folk. You can't be with your own mama, daddy, brother, sister for 30, 40 years and not have no bullshit going on. So how the hell you gonna be with somebody who ain't your blood? Somebody you related to through marriage. And you expect to be with them 40 years, 50 years, and it be all love? Y'all be in love the whole 40, 50 years? Them folk were being love, being hate. They stayed together till they got back in love again, and then back in hate again, back in love again, to where they went to an even just relaxed and chill. We ain't no more, we just chilling. Sitting out on the porch on the rocking chair, drinking lemonade. Looking at the young kid run up and down the street. They fought through all those battles. 30 and 40 years of battles without leaving each other. But oh no, we think grandma was just a saint. Y'all hear me say it, including myself, I've said it till I thought about it. Like, hold on now. I remember some things. Now that I look back at it. Grandma cheated too. Not saying mine did, because I ain't never seen her. I ain't saying she didn't. My point is, that type of stuff was going on for them too. We always, as men, say, boy, these women ain't like grandma and them used to be. How we know? How do we know that? We was kids. We don't know how grandma used to be for real, because we were forced out of grown folk business. They didn't play that shit, no kids up in no grown folk business. So we don't know what the hell grandma was doing as men, as little boys. Grandma could have been the biggest hoe at one time. We don't know. Because, and I remember a story at one time about the folk across the street. I used to hear my dad talking to some of his friends sitting out there under the domino tree, talking about Johnny wife. I wasn't supposed to hear, but I'm a little boy, being like I do now, ear hustle. I was over there acting like I was playing with my diggity dog. Anybody that grew up in the city know what a diggity dog was. I was playing with my diggity dog, ear hustling, the old man under the tree talking about Johnny wife, how she cheating with some other dude from the store, or wherever they be hauling folk from. Johnny wife, which was stayed across the street, ain't gonna say her name, they all dead now, live across the street. She was cheating on Johnny. And they was in the tree talking about it. I was like, I ain't know what cheating was. I'm thinking they talking about, they playing cards or something. She cheating, won't let him win. But I remember them stories now as I got older. Miss Cora, I didn't say her name, cause they dead and gone. As the old folks say, she dead and gone. Cheated on Johnny. Mr. Johnny was a dude, he had a stroke. And first, that's what he was known for. He used to walk with that, he used to drag himself with the arm like this, walking. That was Mr. Johnny. He was real good at domino. He was like the neighborhood champion at domino, but he could only move one of the arms. And they used to slap the dominoes on the table when I remember all that. Y'all seen them domino game, the old man. Slapping the dominoes. I was like, I used to love watching them. Till they brought me up, get your ass out of here. And then I hauled that with my diggity dog or whatever I was playing with. But I used to always love to sit up under the old man as much as I possibly could until they run you off. But usually they ain't paying no attention to you because they steady talking. I like to hear what they're talking about. Man talk. That's why I like man talk now. And Miss Cora was cheating on Johnny with such and such. I'm like, man, now look back on it, Miss Cora, they were talking about Miss Cora under the tree back in the 70s. Miss Cora didn't dress like no hoochie. Miss Cora didn't dress half naked. Miss Cora wore the hip flips under the dress, the old lady dresses, the gowns, how old ladies, how they dressed back then. She was still getting it popping, still cheating. Looked like a good woman to me. Looking at, what we appear to think a good woman is, look like a good woman to me. Grandma cheated too. So I'm gonna say this to people that's married nowadays. Soon you find out your spouse cheating. I ain't gonna tell you to stay. I'm gonna tell you like you're here. You're not gonna be married. Y'all might have been married 4 or 5 years by now. Everything, y'all still in the honeymoon phase. Ooh, I love my hubby. Y'all love my hubby and wifey and all that. Y'all just in love and you know everything going good. Let me tell you this. Just know, if y'all stay together 40, 50 years, if it happens like that, y'all gonna go through some shit. Y'all gonna put up with some shit off each other and not leave. That's the only way. You don't stay together 40 years without having something within them 40 years that you could have left for. It's gonna be some things where you could have left for, but you didn't. It's gonna be some things go down that you should have left for, but you didn't. That's how people stay together 40, 50 years back in the day. It wasn't all love for 50 straight years. Granddad wasn't the champion that you thought your granddad was for the whole 50 years of your parents' marriage. And mama wasn't either. Mama could have been on drugs. Mama could have been a hoe. Grandma could have been a hoe. Granddad and dad stayed with them until they got saved. Like a lot of times back in the day, our grandma and mom were saved and filled with the Holy Ghost. That called their hoes before. We knew them when they were saved. We didn't know them when they wasn't saved a lot of times. Because ever since I was a little boy, my mom was saved and loved the Lord, loved Jesus. I don't know who she was before then. You don't either. We don't know what them people went through, and it wasn't our business. They weren't going to tell us. All we know is they stayed together till they died. We don't do that no more because we ain't putting up with shit. We ain't built like that. We ain't built how they was. They wasn't leaving each other for problems. Yeah, you had divorces back then, but that was very rare. A lot of times be with a dude just be whooping her, beating the brakes off her. Something like that, because them old men, they did that too. But overall, they stayed together through alcoholism, cheating, hoeing, outside babies, all types of stuff. They stayed together. They stayed married. Well, nowadays, we leave each other for eating up all the bologna. Putting the juice back in the refrigerator with a little bit in there instead of throwing it away, drinking all of it. I can't take this no more. I want a divorce. They didn't do that back then. They held on. Grandma was cheating too. So, fellas, when you go to talking about these women now, these modern women ain't like grandma didn't used to be. Yeah, they can't cook like grandma. They don't dress like grandma, cause grandma ain't dressed like no hoe. How these women dress nowadays. Grandma ain't have social media where she on not showing her ass, but she was showing her ass to Willie Earl around the corner on your daddy. But she wasn't showing her ass on camera on Facebook. Don't mean she wasn't showing her ass. We couldn't see it, cause they kept stuff out of our face. They kept, like now, kids are in grown folk business, cause they could turn on their phone and see grown folk stuff. We as kids back then couldn't see grown folk stuff. So we didn't know what the grown folk were doing back then. At least I didn't. I can't speak for all y'all. I didn't. I didn't see grown folk activities in front of me. Unless I snuck up on somebody once spoke, you know what I mean? Man is a little boy. But overall, them people were no better than we are now as far as behavior. You are not going to be married to your husband or your spouse for no 40 or 50 years, and ain't no bullshit going to go on, whether it be cheating, he gets strung out on drugs, she gets strung out on drugs, outside, but something going to go on where they going to be just, oh, I love my hubby, all you going to rock through that. Think about that before you even get married. You need to know it's going to be some bullshit, some shit that's going to rock you to your knees. You need to know that person you marrying or in a long-term relationship with, at some point in time, if y'all stay together that long, I ain't talking about no 5 years, I'm talking about decades. just know throughout that process, that journey, it's gonna be some things gonna happen that person gonna do that will shake you to your core. Or you gonna rock it out with them. That's what grandma and them did back then. They weren't always good to each other like we think. But my granddaddy loved my grandmama. My grandmama loved my granddad. They did. That's why they didn't leave. Some of the time. Sometimes they stayed for the kids. They did all the same shit we doing now they did then. It just wasn't amplified by social media. Facebook, inbox, bunch of jokers inboxing your grandma. She would have probably been a thought too. Just putting something on your mind. The next time you go to thinking about how great our grandparents had it and how they stayed together so long and wishing you had it like how they had it. You do have it like they have it. I mean, you do have it like they had it. Before you go to comparing today and wishing you had it like grandma and them had it and granddad, how they stayed together so long and now we can't stay together 5, 10 years. The only difference is they went through the same shit we going through. They just didn't leave. Granddad had a whole family around the corner, baby, and grandma knew about it. She wouldn't leave. Whether she couldn't or not, that's another story. Maybe she couldn't leave, but for whatever reason, she stayed. Therefore, 40 years later, they still together. And not going through that shit no more. You seen them, we seen them when they done made it through all that shit. And now they on smooth sailing. Nothing, as the Island brothers say, nothing but smooth sailing. They made it through the rough seas. We didn't see the rough seas because it wasn't for us to see. We was kids. That was grown folk business. We saw the smooth sailing, and we thought it was smooth sailing the whole time. And we wondering why we going through all these rough seas and grandma and grandpa and them didn't. Oh, they did. They just rolled it out. They rolled it out. The ups and downs and the ins and outs and the waves crashing up against the boat. They rolled it out. They ain't abandoned ship. They went through some bullshit too. Grandma cheated, granddad cheated, had family. Grandma had outside babies just like granddaddy did. It wasn't just the men. There were women having outside babies on their husband. And the husband stayed and took care of the baby. Do some research if you think I'm bullshitting. I'm old school. I just look young. I hope. But even if I don't give a damn. I'm telling y'all the truth. Grandma cheated too. So if you want to stay with your spouse, your partner, whatever, a long period of time, don't go to comparing y'all shit back to the folk that your grandma and them. They ain't have no better than we did. Only difference, they ain't had the social media or whatever pulling against you and what have you. So that's the truth. Like it or not, it is what it is. Get it, got it, good. Bye.